In the second installment of the Why They Win series, we'll be discussing the 1996 Men's USA basketball team, also known as Dream Team 2. Let's get it. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Skinny Hardaway, and this is Retro Heat Check. Checking in one more time for the real hoop heads out there. And once again, thank you all for your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscriptions, and of course, those questions. Keep those questions coming. I see some fire questions already coming in. Got some fire questions that's still in the tuck. But we're definitely gonna have a great Q&A session. You already know, each and every Wednesday night, Q&A with your boy Skinny. And you guys have definitely been killing it with the questions, man. Tip of the cap. I got VIPs like Hayden, like Chucky stepping up. Hayden been emptying out the clip on y'all. Jessica doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? Still waiting on Miss Kim with her question. She said she's gonna step up as well. Say that 3 times fast. So you already know what it is, man. I definitely appreciate everyone's participation in the Q&A. I love talking to you guys in the comments, but like I say all the time, and there's something about those Wednesday nights that are just even more fun for me. So big shout outs to you guys. Tip of the cap, salute, all that good stuff goes out to all you guys. Continue to keep up the kick-ass job that you guys have been doing. I'm so proud of this community. Like I keep saying, man, we're a small community. We're a fairly new community. But hey, man, each and every last one of y'all in the Hoophead Haven definitely are appreciated. So much love, and let's continue. You already know what time it is, man. Speaking of shout outs, this is the part of the show where we shout out the squad, man. These are my guys. These are the guys that I will definitely campaign for. I definitely support these guys. I definitely participate in their channels, even if it's just a like. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like to lend my support to these guys. They lend their support to me. They're always giving shout outs and all that good stuff. And so it's only right that I give them shout outs back. Much love and respect goes out to these guys. I stand 10 toes in the paint with these guys, shoulder to shoulder, armed with the facts, armed with the truth. That's why we're undefeated. We're going up against a huge conglomerate of media, the league, Clutch Sports, the little minions, the little fanboys. You know what I'm saying? We're going against so many different types of haters and naysayers and narrative changers and propagandists and all that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, each and every day we're smacking them down because we're armed with them facts. So big shout outs go out to my guy, Sports and Fitness Rants. Also, Uncommon Sense, Scap Attack, Too Raw for Sports TV, Uncut Hoops, Angry O Hoops, my twin Phenomenal Fitness. What up, my guy? Big shout outs go out to Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best, NMB Sports TV. Gotta give a shout out to Jordan versus LeBron. Geechee Life Sports Talk, Prince Sports, Man Down Sports, Ticket TV. Gotta give a big shout out to Shekel Storm NBA. Be on the lookout. He's dropping a video pretty soon with yours truly. Big shout outs to my man Shekel Storm, always showing love, man. Big shout outs to the penny pinchers. You already know. Also, big shout outs go out to The Real Mind Crime, definitely a must watch. Also, NBA Fact Self Research, that's my guy. Definitely comes through with the facts. The Alan Ricks TV, a very, very entertaining young man. And he also comes with the facts. So big shout outs go out to all of you guys. Gotta give a big shout out also to Hoop God, man. Like I said, just now getting hip to the Hoop God. But man, he's definitely impressive. An impressive YouTuber, impressive basketball mind, and I'm glad that you're a part of this side of the conversation. So big shout outs to all you guys, man. Hey, and if I forget anybody throughout the process, please forgive me, man. But I think I touched on. I think I pretty much shouted out everybody that needed a shout out. But like I said, if I forgot anyone, please forgive me. It's not intentional. And today it's going to be a closed door session. We don't have any new hoop heads to welcome into the Hoop Head Haven, so we're going to dive on into it. Yesterday's video was a little long. Hopefully we'll cut it down. We'll cut it down a little. Make this a even shorter video. I'm gonna try. I'm trying. I'm a talker. But you already know what it is, man. This is the second episode of the Why They Win series. Basically, this is just me, and this is me just basically giving my rebuttal to Nick Wright. Nick Wright went on TV running his mouth a couple weeks ago saying that the 2024 men's USA basketball team is the greatest of all time. I've already proven yesterday that the OG Dream Team would at least beat today's squad by at least 20 to 25 points. Given the roster, given the makeup of the team, the coaching, the personalities, definitely a 20 to 25 point victory over the 2024 men's team. And today, we're going to check out the next installment of the Dream Team 2 of the 1996 men's USA basketball team in the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. This group is definitely very special to me because I actually got to go down to Atlanta in '96 to see a little bit of the Olympics. Thanks to one of my former teammates and his mom. We all went down there, and you know what I'm saying, we got to kick it down there. It was such a blast. It was such a blast being down there in Atlanta. That was my first time. Also, that was my first time ever going down to Atlanta. I was probably about 13 years old, probably 13, 14 years old. Man, and it was definitely an experience that, you know, that I have to say was a once in a lifetime experience. And I definitely was down there to see the men's basketball team and see them do their thing. So let's give a little background story of the 1996 men's basketball team, aka Dream Team 2. Now, coming off the heels of a dominant performance from the OG Dream Team, America had to come back, and this time they came back bigger, stronger, faster. This is a squad that pretty much dominated from the word go, just like the OG Dream Team. You have a couple of veterans from that squad mixed in with a few other veterans that probably could have made the Dream Team, the OG Dream Team. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe could have possibly could have made the squad. And also we got some new, fresh, young talent that has come into the game. So basically, this is a blend of veterans that have been in that are veterans and former members of the OG Dream Team. Some veterans that could have made the OG Dream Team but finally get their shot, especially after when Michael Jordan gracefully bowed out and said that he would not come back and he would not come back and play on the '96 team. He wanted someone else to experience that. He wanted someone else to enjoy that experience in that moment. And plus, besides, I mean, MJ, he's already done it twice. He's done it twice. He did it twice. Got 2 gold medals. He's fresh back into the game. You know what I'm saying? After his 3-year hiatus. And I mean, my bad. It's 2-year hiatus. Well, almost 2-year hiatus. I just feel like, you know, with those 2 factors, MJ decided to step away. So this team, pretty much, even despite not having Michael Jordan, still came stronger, faster, younger, bigger, stronger. This team right here is probably the team, arguably, I always say arguably, a team that could be considered the greatest of the Olympic squads. There's 3 squads, and this is the second one. You already see the OG Dream Team. Now we're talking about Dream Team 2. Now let's talk about the roster. Now we got a little bit of the background story. Oh yeah, to further my point, well, to close out my point, I'm sorry. This team basically, I mean, really didn't. A lot of people try to hype it up like there's this home court pressure of performing at home, but really it wasn't. It was no challenge. I mean, it was still business as usual for the United States. The only unfortunate thing for the teams around the world, they had to come to America. You know, but it still had its same fanfare. Probably not as much fanfare as the '92 team, mainly because they had Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan at that point was a phenomenon globally. And I mean, he was basically one of, I mean, although all these guys were great, but Michael Jordan was the headliner. This year's team definitely still had definitely had some headliners, definitely had the cream of the crop. And they just did what the previous Dream Team did. They came in, handled business, blew out everybody on their way to a gold medal. Now, let's get down to the roster. At your point guards, a little bit of old, a little bit of new. The point guards, Penny Hardaway, John Stockton, and Gary Payton. Shooting guards, Mitch Richmond and Reggie Miller. Small forwards, Scottie Pippen and Grant Hill. Power forwards, Charles Barkley and Karl Malone. Centers, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, and David Robinson. With Coach Lenny Wilkens. Going straight down this roster. You go straight down this roster. We got to start with the point guards. And we're going to start with we're definitely going to start with the grizzled old veteran, John Stockton, the point guard from the OG Dream Team. Hey, he's coming down, you know what I'm saying? Right now, John Stockton, he's still in his prime, but he's at the end of his prime. You know what I'm saying? Getting a little bit older, but he's still wiser, still got quick hands, quick feet, still hard-nosed, still a dead-eye shooter. Nothing about John Stockton has changed. Just a little bit older, a little bit more wiser. And I mean, this is the John Stockton that is getting ready, that he would be getting ready in the future for two important finals runs. Unfortunately for him, he met Mike and the Bulls. But definitely, John Stockton, one of the greatest point guards of all time, definitely was that leadership, played that leadership role in Dream Team 2 at the point guard position. Definitely a key member of Dream Team 2. Also, the next point guard, Gary Payton. You already know about Gary Payton, man. He is everything that John Stockton is as far as his personality. Gary Payton is the total opposite. Gary Payton, loud, brash, in your face. His style, in your face. You can tell that, you know what I'm saying, his game is street infused, straight from the streets of Oakland. And this guy right here takes no shorts from nobody. Definitely comes with the attitude. Definitely is not intimidated by anyone on the planet. And this right here, his game, Oh man, his game it was just immaculate. He had an immaculate game, especially on the defensive side of the game. I definitely say that Gary Payton is the greatest defensive point guard to ever play the game. There's not a point guard that can lock down his man quite like Gary Payton. Gary Payton played defense with such an anger and such he played almost with a tenacity that was almost borderline bullying. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely a monster out there, man, and definitely the kind of guard that you need to go up against these international guards that, quite frankly, didn't really know what they were getting. Definitely didn't know what they were getting into with Gary Payton getting in their face, chomping on his gum, talking loud, talking trash. Meanwhile, doing his thing, locking down, hitting timely shots, making great passes, just doing what Gary Payton does. And last, definitely not least, you already know the man, my guy, the greatest, my guy. To me, in my opinion, the greatest player I ever seen in my life. Penny, outside of Michael Jordan. One, Anthony Penny Hardaway, point guard of your 96 Dream Team 2. What can I say about Penny Hardaway that I have not already said? This guy, 6'7", Magic Johnson with athleticism. This is Penny Hardaway in his prime. This is still Penny Hardaway at the height of his powers. No major knee injuries. Nothing really, you know what I'm saying? Nothing really setting him back. This is still Penny Hardaway, run, jumping, dunking. Like I said about Magic Johnson, coming down the break. This guy's 6'7", 210 pounds, running right at you, coming down on the break. Smooth as silk. I mean, everything that he did had purpose. Everything that he did just looked real good out there on the floor. I mean, scoring, facilitating, defense. I mean, there was no guard in the world that had as many skills as Penny Hardaway. I definitely think that Penny Hardaway for these Olympic Games was hands down the most skilled guard in the games was Penny Hardaway. Definitely. Now at the shooting guard position, you got Mitch Richmond, aka Rock, because that's exactly what he was. Solid. This guy right here, former member of Run TMC in Golden State at the time, moved on to Sacramento, you know what I'm saying, after a trade to Sacramento, was handling his business quietly on the West Coast. He's always been that silent assassin, always been that guy who you probably who at the time, not a lot of people would think of unless you was a real hooper. If you was a real hooper, you knew all about Rock, you knew about his game, you knew about his inside, outside, how he could he's strong enough to post up a player, quick enough to take a man off the dribble on the outside, the mid-range automatic jump shot butter. Hey man, just a silent killer. Mitch Richmond didn't have to say much, but his game spoke volumes, and his game was definitely Olympic worthy. Definitely a key pickup for Dream Team 2. And alongside him at the shooting guard, one of the greatest shooters of all time. At the time, the premier shooter at the shooting guard position, the premier shooter in the world, Reggie Miller. Miller time was every time when Reggie got on the floor. You already know about Reggie Miller, man. The awkward shot, the skinny, the skinny, bald head, big ears. He's not Cheryl's little brother anymore. He's a bona fide superstar now. Reggie Miller out here bombing from deep, basically changing the game from a shooting perspective. I mean, letting the league and the world know that a 3-point dominant player can make a huge difference and be a leader of a squad. And Reggie Miller did that in spades. His steady leadership, his guile, his basically his I won't say versatility, but I would have to say his willingness to not only just be a jump shooter, but his willingness to get down there and do things that you don't normally see Reggie Miller do, like get down there grabbing boards, getting down there, you know what I'm saying, scraping and scrapping. I mean, Reggie Miller definitely in the Olympics definitely was an eye-opener, because I just always would see Reggie Miller running around behind all those screens from Rick Smits and the Davis boys. You know, him popping out, hitting that three with that weird crisscross arm shot that he would. I don't know how he made it in, but that thing was. I mean, that jumper was disgusting, and man, it was definitely a huge. It was definitely a huge moment for Reggie, I'm sure, making the dream team, because this was a guy who was probably one of the more unlikeliest players to really become a superstar. Although he was a first rounder, although he did do his thing at UCLA, it was just something about Reggie Miller coming into the league that just kind of just suggested that, you know, he'll just be an all right player. But Reggie Miller definitely proved everyone wrong and was definitely earned his spot on the Olympic team. Small forward, Scottie Pippen. You already know, man. This is Scottie Pippen. Fresh off, you know, this is Scottie Pippen, man. Fresh off of, you know what I'm saying? Fresh off of a finals, a finals win, a finals appearance. Basically got their ring, got another ring. And Scottie Pippen, man, definitely still at the height of his skills. This is right before his back started to betray him. He still had athleticism. He still had that crazy lockdown defense on the perimeter. So with him with him and Gary Payton on the floor together, you already know it was curtains for anybody coming down the court, because you had Scottie Pippen harassing the passing lanes as usual, blocking shots, getting boards, scoring timely baskets, facilitating when needed to. I mean, Scottie Pippen was just Scottie Pippen, man, just doing Pip things. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's just that, you know, his experience from the 92 games definitely led him to becoming one of the leaders of the squad. And Scottie Pippen definitely showed his medal in the Olympics, definitely by being a steady hand on both, not only the offensive side, but especially on the defensive side. This team right here was predicated on defense, and Scottie Pippen and Gary Payton definitely led the way. Also, at the small forward position, the one, Grant Hill. You already know what it is, baby. Young Grant Hill. This is Grant Hill before the ankle injuries. This is Grant Hill at the height of his powers. Mr. Sprite, Mr. Fila. This guy right here. Oh my goodness. Gives teams the blues. He would give teams the blues in the NBA, and he would later on give teams the same blues in the Olympics. This guy right here, silky smooth, could go inside, outside. There's no, I mean, athleticism, versatility. I mean, offense, defense, rebounding, assists, scoring. I mean, the man could score in bunches. He was just basically a walking triple double. There was nothing that Grant Hill couldn't do at this time. And for him to make that team, it was a no-brainer. He was one of the most popular players in the league. I would have to say, the top three most popular players in the league at that time was MJ, Penny, and Grant Hill. Those were your top three most popular players in the league, hands down. And Grant Hill definitely flexed his star power throughout the Olympics, man. Let it be known, with his athleticism, with his defense, with everything about him, the intangibles that he has, the smarts that he brought to the game. Grant Hill was definitely he and Scottie Pippen, definitely two all-around good players at the small forward position. Definitely interchangeable. You could put Grant Hill at the 2. You could put Grant Hill at the 3. It didn't matter. Grant Hill was going to give you buckets. Grant Hill was going to give you defense. Grant Hill was going to give you versatility on both sides of the floor. The power forwards, both of these guys shined in 1992. They came back to 96 for more action. And that's Charles Barkley and Karl Malone, two of the baddest power forwards to ever play the game. Both of these guys continued. Charles Barkley continued his scoring ways. Once again, the leading scorer of the Dream Team too, following his performance in 1992. And you already know Karl Malone, although I do not like Karl Malone. Karl Malone, definitely automatic down there on the block. Strength, toughness, intimidation factor. Both of these guys had it in spades, and there was no team in the world that can mess with this front court, especially when you're looking at these centers. starting off with David Robinson, another one of the last of the Dream Team veterans. Basically, he led the center position with his leadership, his freaky athletic ability. I mean, David Robinson just doing David Robinson things. Once again, his defense, blocking shots, getting steals, quick hands, quick feet, athleticism for a guy who's 7'1". I mean, he was a revelation. He was a revelation during the Olympics, man. And he definitely led a center group that was bar none the greatest group of centers in Olympic history, along with the next guy, Shaquille O'Neal. You already know who this guy is, Shaquille O'Neal, the Shaq Diesel, the Big Aristotle, whatever nickname you want. This is Shaquille O'Neal, still doing his thing. He's in, you know what I'm saying, fresh off of a trade to Los Angeles, doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? It was a crazy time for Shaquille O'Neal. They, you know what I'm saying, leaving Orlando to sign up with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Breaking up the duo that he and Penny had. Me being a Penny fan, I definitely was sad to see the big man go west, but I was happy to see them reunite down in Atlanta. Shaquille O'Neal, you already know. Can't stop him down on the block. He's dunking on everything moving. He's blocking your shot. The intimidator down in the paint. Well, all these guys were intimidating in the front court, but Shaquille O'Neal definitely was an obvious first intimidator. I mean, because of his size, his freakiness. You know what I'm saying? His freakiness on the floor. This is still Shaquille O'Neal that could get out on the break. This isn't big Shaquille O'Neal. This isn't bigger Shaquille O'Neal. This is still Shaquille O'Neal with that athleticism that he had when he was in Orlando. So this is still the Shaquille O'Neal that can get up and down the floor, run the, you know what I'm saying, fill in the lanes, get easy layups and dunks, blocking shots, doing it all. But the man in the middle, to me, the greatest, one of the greatest. I have to say the second greatest center of all time, right behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and that's the man. That is the man, the living legend, Hakeem Olajuwon, the dream, man, the dream shake, the handles, the post moves. I mean, just everything about him, man. The defense. This is Hakeem Olajuwon at the top of his game, a freshly new U.S. citizen at the time. He definitely is doing exactly the opposite of what Joel Embiid is doing in the games. Hakeem Olajuwon got his U.S. citizenship, and I don't know what happened. I guess it just gave him just extra powers because he came ready to play. He came ready to play, blocking shots, scoring. I mean, just the post moves had the world centers just. I mean, put him in the spin cycle. There's nothing that you could do with Hakeem Olajuwon. This is Hakeem Olajuwon at his best, at his height. You know what I'm saying? 2-time NBA champion. Still a viable force in the NBA. And he definitely did his thing. Definitely a great group of centers. In the leader of all that, Lenny Wilkens, veteran coach, man. Veteran coach of those great Cleveland Cavaliers teams that always seem to fall short to Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan would come into the building, Lenny unfortunately had to take an L. But in this situation, Lenny, all he had to do is just be a calm, steady influence, like he's always been. He's the perfect coach for a team that has a nice blend of veterans and young guys. You need a coach like Lenny Wilkens that is a great communicator, that basically bridge the gap between the young up and comers and the grizzled old vets and everybody in the middle. Man, with Lenny Wilkens, quiet, steady, he always reminded me of Tony Dungy. He has that Tony Dungy aura about him. Like, he doesn't have to yell at you. He don't have to do anything. The second that he says something to you, you just do it. You just do it. And his steadiness, that's exactly what this team needed. They just needed to be steady. They didn't need to be up. They didn't need to be down. They just needed to be steady across the board because they had the advantage. They had the home court advantage. They had the advantage of the best players in the world. I mean, Lenny, all he had to do was just be that steady, calming hand that guided this team to the gold medal. I mean, it was just once again perfect synergy between coach and team. This is a team that definitely had some a somewhat of a generational gap because you have basically a couple guys that's on this team that's only been in the league for a couple years, but they fit in perfectly. They had the right attitude, the right mindset. They were the right kind of players to be mixed in with these veterans. And boy, the results. Well, you already seen the results. The results was a gold medal and a very dominant performance throughout the Atlanta games. Now, let's get down to business. Why they win. Why do they win? Like I said earlier, bigger, stronger, faster. May not be as bigger, stronger, and faster than the 2024, but the difference was down there in the post. That was the deciding factor. That and the simple fact that they got a very defensive squad. This squad right here, some of the best defenders. So basically, they could match the athleticism of the 2024 squad, but they turned it up a notch because they had better centers. They had better centers, better power forwards, just better. They're just better at each position. The players are just better. I'm sorry. They're better. They're better because they have the intangibles. They play defense. Most of these guys are good on both sides of the floor. Basically, perfect spacing when you have a Reggie Miller or a Mitch Richmond out there on the floor. You had steady leadership with John Stockton, Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen, David Robinson, and Karl Malone. I mean, these guys are still in their primes. Many of these guys were still in their primes. Yes, some of them were kind of on the downturn of their primes, but they were still in their primes, still putting up big numbers. Karl Malone had yet to win his MVPs at this time. You know what I'm saying? This right here is the squad that I definitely will say the 2024 team could not guard. At the point guard position, who is going to guard Penny Hardaway? That's question number one. Question number one, who is going to guard Penny? And I say none of them. None of them. Penny was too tall for the likes of a Drew Holiday. He's too, you know what I'm saying? He's too smooth, too many moves for a guy like Devin Booker, who's not a great defender. I mean, there's nobody that. What could you do? You have to put LeBron on it. You would have to put like LeBron or somebody on Penny Hardaway. But this is old LeBron versus prime Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway before the knee injuries. LeBron is not getting with Penny Hardaway. Sorry. It's not going to happen. And then you got Gary Payton. Come on, man. I would love to see Gary Payton versus Drew Holiday once again. But I bet you this. Drew Holiday, the same way that he couldn't take Jimmy Butler's trash talking, for sure he definitely is not going to be having a good time with Gary Payton chirping at him. Gary Payton will definitely give you buckets and let you know about it the whole time. I definitely believe that Gary Payton would definitely intimidate players such as Drew Holiday. People just don't understand how much of a dog Gary Payton was, man, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. This guy it was beyond scrappy. Like I said, he bullied people at the point guard position defensively, and I definitely believe that right there, those three factors from these three different players, you know, with John Stockton's leadership, to Penny Hardaway's otherworldly skills, to Gary Payton's fire and tenacity, those three players definitely are a notch above any point guard, any lead guard that the 2024 definitely has. Shooting guard. Now, Mitch Richmond and Reggie Miller, yes, they sacrifice athleticism. They sacrifice athleticism, but they give you deadly scoring, deadly shooting from the outside. Mitch Richmond gives you that inside, outside, and mid-range game that's automatic. He's automatic from all three levels. You know what I'm saying? What he sacrifices in athleticism, he makes up for it in guile, grit, intangibles, smarts. Reggie Miller the same way. Reggie Miller knows how to work through contact, knows how to run around screens. Endurance out of this world. You're going to have to chase Reggie Miller around the whole night. I don't see somebody like a Steph Curry or a Devin Booker or anybody like that running around like that. There's nobody really in the league that has as much off-ball action as Reggie Miller back in the day. And I don't think any players of today really don't have the skills of an off-ball offensive player. And Reggie Miller is the perfect off-ball offensive player. He does not need to dribble. He does not need to bring the ball up. All he has to do is catch and shoot. All you need to do is give him a screen and enough time for him to get that quick shot off with his quick trigger. I mean, probably one of the fastest triggers in NBA history. As soon as he gets the ball, bam, it's already in the air. Man, I have to say, as far as a shooting guard, yes, there are advantages of this team. But when it comes to the scoring and the shooting, especially for Mitch Richmond, I definitely think that he will surprise many with his steady play. Small forward, Scottie Pippen, you already know what he's going to do. He's going to fill lanes, block shots, get steals, get dunks, get easy baskets. He's just going to handle all the defensive duties along the perimeter, and he's going to lock down his man, and he'll lock down whoever is guarding him. I mean, this is Scottie Pippen. He's it's almost it's almost, self-explanatory. What the shooting guards lacked in athleticism, Scottie Pippen, and now Grant Hill makes up for that in spades. This is Grant Hill, man. Inside, outside, three-pointers, mid-range, on the block, dunking, layups, jumpers. I mean, mid-range, giving you buckets, giving you assists, giving you rebounds, giving you assists. This guy is going to be the jack of all trades of the squad. He is the guy who's going to do everything. Him and Scottie Pippen both do everything players at the small forward position. And it does not matter who is in the game. There's no drop-off. Whether offensively, I would have to say on the offensive side, Grant Hill will turn it up. But on the defensive side, Pippen will turn it up. But each player, definitely a perfect blend for this squad. Power forwards. I need to say no. I need to say nothing else. I would just say this. Power forwards, centers, put them all together. Put all five. Barkley, Malone, O'Neal, Olajuwon, Robinson. Enough said. You're not doing anything with these guys on the block. You're not doing anything with these guys if they're guarding you. You're not doing not a whole lot. I'm looking at Bam. I'm looking at Embiid. I'm looking at AD. I'm looking at KD. I'm looking at LeBron. I'm looking at all of you guys. None of you guys can get with these five players. Barkley and Malone at the power forward position. It's a wrap. Get them out of here. Just too intimidating. Big dogs. Size, intimidation, strength, skill. I mean, intangibles, smarts. You can't go wrong with these guys. And then with Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, and David Robinson, they're already too big for this. They're already too big for the 2024's front court. Already. Any of these combinations spells doom for this squad. Because you can't do anything with Shaquille O'Neal, because Shaquille O'Neal going to bang on whoever's down there. You can't do anything with Olajuwon, because Olajuwon will put whoever is guarding him in the spin cycle. You're going to foul out damn near messing with Olajuwon, O'Neal. And then on top of that, you got David Robinson as well, who's already familiarized with the international game, with his skills and his gifts. It's a wash, man. This team right here, I would have to say, if the 92 team wins by 20 to 25 points, I say this squad wins by 25 to 30, maybe even more. I have to say 30 plus. These guys right here can definitely give the 2024 team the blues, because mainly they have the size. They have the size. They have the athleticism. They have shooting. I mean, they have intangibles. They got defense. Stout defenders throughout. You're not going to get too many shots off. You're not going to get too many plays off. And the simple fact that these guys know each other, played against each other, these guys right here, definitely in the 90s, this is the cream of the crop at the time. This is the best of the best at the time. These guys are at the top of their game. These guys are at the top of the hill. And I definitely think that the 2024 team, with with older players, too many guys that are soft, too many guys that don't have the intangibles, too many one-trick ponies on this team, it's not going to end well if you have the 96 team versus the 2024 team. If you give me my opinion, if you ask me my opinion, I definitely have to say Dream Team 2 is actually the best Olympic team that we've had. Even better than the original Dream Team. I have to say, because from 1 through 12, all in their prime. No major injuries concerns with any of these guys. These guys are playing at the top of their game, from the young guys to the vets. Everybody's still within their prime. These guys are led by Lenny Wilkens. All Lenny Wilkens had to do is just give him the word, and they go do it. Lenny Wilkens is the type of coach that you will play your heart out for him, because he will give you opportunities, and he will put you in the best position to succeed. And there's nothing wrong with that. I definitely will have to say it's a 30-plus win for the 96 team over the 2024 squad. And that's my opinion on that. And right there, we'll just leave it right there. It's your boy, Skinny Hardaway, man. Definitely got to say, man, it's Tuesday. Hey, man, Taco Tuesday, man, for most of us. Definitely, definitely thank you all for tapping in with your boy for a little bit, man. I know I keep trying to say that I'm trying to shorten these up, but it seems like I just can't. Thank you all. I want you all to, enjoy your evenings. You already know, man, it's Tuesday. Getting through the week, man. Tomorrow's hump day. You already know what it is, man. I want you guys to go out there, love on your loved ones, love on them babies. You know what I'm saying? Just show love, spread love. Tomorrow is not promised. You know what I'm saying? Be a blessing, not a burden. Be a helping hand if you can. You already know what it is, man. Be respectful, be responsible. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't do anything that'll harm yourself or harm others. Don't do anything that'll take you away from your family or from your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Because they need you just as well as you need them. You know what I'm saying? So be important to those that are important in your life. You already know what it is, man. Like I say, man, clear head, good intentions in your heart, and you out of here. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Skinny Hardaway, and this is another episode of Retro Heat Check in the books. And I guess I'll have to leave you with these words. Peace. And wear your sneakers.